I'm Michigan State Senator Mallory McMorrow, and this is Project 2025. Now, over the next 4 nights, you are going to hear a lot about what is in this 900-page document. Why? Because this is the Republican blueprint for a second Trump term. That's right. They went ahead and wrote down all the extreme things that Donald Trump wants to do in the next 4 years. And then they just tweeted it out, putting it out on the internet for everybody to read. So, we read it. And whatever you think it might be, it is so much worse. Tonight, I want to tell you about just one aspect of Project 2025. It's planned to turn Donald Trump into a dictator. Okay, right here on page 535, it says, quote, reissue Trump's Schedule F executive order to permit discharge of non-performing employees. Now that doesn't sound that scary, right? But here's what it actually means in plain English. If Donald Trump gets back into the White House, he's going to fire civil servants like intelligence officers, engineers, and even federal prosecutors if he decides that they don't serve his personal agenda. They're talking about replacing the entire federal government with an army of loyalists who answer only to Donald Trump. I know. All right, then. Okay. Page 873. It says, quote, conservatives have long believed in either ending law enforcement activities of independent agencies or ending their independent status. Again, that sounds pretty boring. But what it means is that under Project 2025, Donald Trump would be able to weaponize the Department of Justice to go after his political opponents. He could even turn the FBI into his own personal police force. That is not how it works in America. That's how it works in dictatorships. And that's exactly what Donald Trump and his MAGA minions have in mind. An expansion of presidential powers like no president has ever had or should ever have. Now, by the way, if you're asking if any of this is even legal, well, remember, thanks to Donald Trump's hand-picked Supreme Court, he's now completely immune from prosecution, even if he breaks the law. But that's not who we are, because we believe in a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Not the government of Donald Trump, by Donald Trump, and for Donald Trump. We believe in the separation of powers and the rule of law. We believe in a system built up to serve everyone, not breaking a system to serve one petty, selfish man. The truth is, there's only one way to stop him, and to stop Project 2025. How do we do it? We elect Kamala Harris this November.
My fellow Americans, my name is Malcolm Kenyatta, a proud son of Pennsylvania. And as you saw, I brought back Trump's Project 2025, all 900 pages of it. And it's interesting because usually Republicans want to ban books, but now they're trying to shove this down our throats. It is a radical plan to drag us backwards, bankrupt the middle class, and raise prices on working families like yours and mine. Under Project 2025, a family making just $75,000 a year with just 2 kids would pay $1,800 more in federal taxes. No, but there's more. Because on page 465, Project 2025 would stop Medicare from negotiating to lower the price of prescription drugs and capping out-of-pocket costs. And on page 587, Project 2025 would cut overtime pay for hardworking Americans. But my friend, these bad ideas aren't new. As long as we have been fighting to make America work for working families, there have been greedy corporate interests trying to take us back. In 2019, my grandma, a civil rights warrior, called me, her voice cracking, and she said, "I'm so sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. I thought my generation had fixed this. And here you are fighting the same battles." But I want to tell you tonight, my friends, what I said to my grandma. I said, "It's okay, Grandma. It's just our turn. It's just our turn to stand up for working people and to stand up for our nation's promise. It's just our turn to defend our rights and to ensure that democracy doesn't die on our watch. It's our turn to make history, my friends, by electing Kamala Harris as the next President of the United States of America."
All right. Y'all remember this big old book from before? When Colorado Governor Jerry Polis ripped the page out of it? This is Project 2025, the Republican blueprint for a second Trump term. It is boo. It is a real document that you can read for yourself at kamalaharris.com/Project 2025. You ever seen a document that could kill a small animal and democracy at the same time? Here it is. You know how when you download an app and there are hundreds of pages there that you don't read, it's just the terms and conditions, and you just click agree, right? Well, these are the terms and conditions of a second Trump presidency. You vote for him, you vote for all of this. Let's take a look. All right, we got Matt here with us tonight. Is Matt here? Hey, there he is. Matt, how are you, sir? All right, Matt. Now, Matt, I understand that you work as an AV tech in Nevada, and you make a decent hourly wage. Is that right? Oh, I don't know if we can hear Matt. Can we hear Matt? So who's gonna fix it? Keep speaking, Matt, so we can hear you. Okay, that's good. I guess we're gonna move on from Matt. And this is Becky. Becky, can we hear you?
Hi, Kenan. It's great to be here.
Thank you. All right, good. Now, Becky, you're married, correct?
I am. Me and my wife have been together for about 8 years.
Oh, that's amazing. Very, very cute.
Thanks.
But I have got some bad news for you.
I hate that.
On page 584. Project 2025 calls for the elimination of protections for LGBTQ plus Americans. So yeah,
That's
right back to
terrible.
the Stone
Yeah.
Age. I'm afraid so.
Right back to the Stone Age. That's terrible.
Yeah, it is. Thank you, Becky, for being here and making that wonderful point. All right, next up, we have Nirvana. Nirvana, are you with us? And your people are with us as well? All right, good. Now, Nirvana, I understand
Yes.
that you are on insulin to manage your diabetes, yes?
Yes, and thanks to President Biden and Vice President Harris, I only pay $35 a month for my insulin.
That is great. That is great. But on page 465, Project 2025 calls for millions of people like yourself to pay more for prescription drugs like insulin.
Why?
Why? Well, I guess maybe to help Big Pharma make more money that they can donate to Republican politicians, I assume.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, unfortunately, it does make sense. All right, let's talk to Anita. Anita, are you there? Yes. Hello, Anita.
Hello.
And Anita, what do you do for a living?
I'm an OBGYN who delivers babies and does surgery.
An OBGYN. She is an OBGYN that delivers babies. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, yeah, it's bad news, isn't it?
It sure is. On page 459, Project 2025 resurrects a law from the 1800s called the Comstock Act to ban abortion nationwide and throw healthcare providers in jail.
Oh my God, that is awful.
Yes, it is awful. All right, let's do one more. Is Sharia with us? Sharia, are you there?
Hey, Kenan, I'm here.
Yes, Sharia, I love it. All right, let's talk to you. I understand that you work for the federal government.
Yes, sir. I'm in the United States Department of Education. I'm a proud civil servant and a proud union president.
She works for the Department of Education and she's a proud civil servant. Well, unfortunately for you, on page 78, Project 2025 calls for President Trump to purge the civil service of everyone who isn't a MAGA loyalist. Are you a MAGA loyalist?
Now, Kenan, absolutely not.
I'm just asking. I mean, you might as well be, because also page 319 calls for the complete elimination of the Department of Education. There's a bunch of stuff in here, but that's all we have time for at the moment. Just remember, everything that we just talked about is very real. It is in this book. You can read it online at kamalaharris.com/Project 2025. And most importantly, you can stop it from ever happening by electing Kamala Harris as the next president of the United States.
Project 2025. I've talked about it. I've done some shows about it. I'm going to do a little fact check since everybody is talking about Project 2025 at the convention. So here we go. So over the past couple of days, there were few false or misleading claims as far as factual statements, which is good. So here's one of the fact checks. Democrats on Trump and Project 2025. Now, this is a conservative think tank initiative that has been repeatedly invoked by convention speakers. Every night, they bring out that big book, 900 pages, booyah, and they read certain things. So various speakers have talked about this, saying or hinting that this project is former President Donald Trump's own agenda. Senator Bernie Sanders of Vermont referred to Trump's Project 2025. Is it? State Senator Malcolm Kenyatta of Pennsylvania, she used the same phrase, Trump's 2020 Project 2025. Senator Gary Peters of Michigan, talking about Trump and running mate J.D. Vance, referred to their Project 2025 agenda. So we're going to talk about some things that are linked to it. Does Trump know about it, or does he not know about it? So Project 2025 has been led by the Heritage Foundation, a prominent conservative think tank working in collaboration with dozens of other conservative organizations. So there's one think tank is working with other think tanks, and they put together Project 2025. So their efforts, which began in 2022, is a detailed 920-page document called Mandate for Leadership, the Conservative Promise. Not exactly Project 2025, but Mandate for Leadership, the Conservative Promise. So this lays out hundreds of clear and concrete policy recommendations for White House offices, cabinet departments, Congress, agencies, commissions, and boards. And why did they put this together, you wonder? Some people say to take over the world. So the document proposes a variety of right-wing policy changes in a variety of policy areas, from immigration to healthcare to agriculture to education, plus a major overhaul of the executive branch that would significantly increase presidential power. So you're giving more power to the president. Do we really need that? So the document was published in April 2023 when Trump was a heavy favorite to win the party nomination. That's interesting. So did they put this together for Trump? So the document bills itself as an attempt to help the next conservative president, whoever he or she may be, hit the ground running. So it's a plan book, it's a rule book. So they're saying this really wasn't for Donald Trump, but it was for whoever was that conservative president. Still interesting? Yeah. So is Trump linked to this Project 2025? He says he is not affiliated with it. He claimed in July that I know nothing about Project 2025. I have no idea who is behind it. And I saw that when they asked him about that. So CNN tried to fact check this and they couldn't find anything. But they said he knows who has connections to this. And that's interesting because I said this too. A lot of people that Trump worked with in his office and knew were connected with this Project 2025. For example, 6 of his cabinet members played a role in this project. This one guy, his name is Tom Homan. He was an acting immigration and custom enforcement chief early in the Trump administration. I wonder, how good did he do, especially looking at immigrants. So he worked for Trump, but he's also part of this Project 2025. But he says he has no plans to make part of a second Trump administration, but he doesn't want a part of it. So J.D. Vance, recent Republican VP nominee, his connection to Project 2025, they talked about that too on the show. So he has a foreword, and that's like a little thing in a book before you open up the book and really get into it. And he has this in this book written by a leader of Project 2025, Heritage Foundation President Kevin Roberts. So Kevin Roberts, who's a leader in Project 2025, J.D. Vance has written something in his book. And the guy has said that Vance has no involvement with Project 2025 and that Vance has a lot of disagreements with what they're calling for. So Trump's stance on Project 2025 proposals. Do Trump believe in any of the stuff that's written about Project 2025? CNN's reported they don't know how much he rejects. Trump has said that some of the documents are absolutely ridiculous and ipso. But he also said many of the points are fine. He has not specified which proposals he rejects and which ones he found acceptable. But if he's not connected with it, he doesn't really know much about it, how does he say he likes some of it and he doesn't? Okay. So this is interesting. Not too long ago, they had a hidden camera. Russell Voigt, the Trump era Office of Management and Budget Director, who was also one of former Trump's administrative officials, is involved in Project 2025. He said that in a hidden camera video secretly recorded by a British journalism organization, how did that all come about? I see what he's going to do is just very, very consciously distance himself from a brand. It's interesting. He's in fact not even opposing himself to a particular policy. So this was his hidden camera. They were talking about Trump. So CNN reported in July, Project 2025, here we go, includes many policy priorities that are aligned with those of the former president, especially as they create bureaucracy by making it easier to dismiss civil servants and career officials. Meaning you can get rid of everybody, but you can't get rid of the president. So Project 2025 has lately become a lightning rod for other ideas Trump hasn't explicitly backed. So something Trump hasn't backed, what people are talking about, including a ban on pornography and the exclusion of the morning after pill and men's contraceptives from coverage mandated under the Affordable Care Act. Somebody needs to break it down, bring that book in front of Trump, literally go through page, and talk to him about it. So a spokesman for Trump's campaign told CNN, President Trump's campaign made it clear that not only President Trump and the campaign and not any other organization or former staff represent policies for this second term. Is that confusing? Well, it is, but I gave you a little bit more to confusion. 900 pages, 920 something pages of Project 2025. Contact me, parkerman2011 at gmail.com, parkerman2011 at gmail.com, 216-702-3718, 216-702-3718. You're watching Keeping It Honest with yours truly, Anthony Parker Alexander.